بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum, my beloved ones, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The catastrophe of Fajr back again this year. Until now, alhamdulillah, we were in peace. Now we start in pieces. So what's going to happen? Tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we will not have Fajr, the true Fajr, the proper Fajr in Stockholm. That means we will not have that 16 degree. So what is this 16 degree? What is this? Now, I'm not telling you, people, they have questioned me a lot about Imam Ali Center's timetable, Imam Ali Center's timetable. They say, is it wrong? I said, no. We are not saying it's wrong or right. Imam Ali Center's timetable in Stockholm, if you follow rest of the time, rest of the year, it's okay. But when the Fajr ends, we have two different directions. The timetable of Imam Ali is okay. But based on, say, the Sistani's methodology, you cannot apply that on according to the application of the ruling of Sayyid Sistani. So yes, according to the application of Sayyid Sistani, it's wrong. Now, how is that? How can this be right and wrong? The application in the Fajr time. How? First of all, micro Fajr by equipment. So when the sun goes down below the horizon, once it comes to the midline, consider my nose a midline, okay? So once it comes here, like sun goes down, comes to the midline, which is like opposite of noon time. So this midnight, once it moves, there is a micro change in the light in the atmosphere, micro, which can be sensed by equipment, not by naked eye. So after Dhuhr, if your Dhuhr is 1 o'clock, your Fajr will be 1:30. Before it was 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Dhuhr, Fajr. So the sun moves from midline, from this midnight position. That is Fajr. For Sayyid Sistani, no. He needs to see macro change. That means he needs to see by naked eye. So the naked eye cannot be sensed until the sun moves, until it makes a good shift up, then you can see the macro change. So there is a difference between the time of Fajr of Sayyid Sistani. I'm going to show you the illustrations, scientific illustrations, because for Sayyid Sistani followers, we went to, we double checked with the professor in University of Stockholm, University of Norway, and in Lund Observatory. We checked all these places. So we checked the professionals, we checked those people who are experts. It's not just Safdar Radis talking like that. No, I'm responsible in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the methodologies are different. What say the Sistani followers, now they're applying methodology and praying before the time where they're supposed to pray, and their salat is invalid. They need to delay their salat until there's a macro change. Okay? We asked the astronomical observatories in Qom of Ayatollah Sistani Damadullah. They said no. Sayyid Sistani follower, if he prays before the time prescribed by the methodology of Sayyid Sistani Damadullah, his salat is invalid. You cannot pray in the time which is until you are sure. Qad ahraza. We're going to read the fatwas at the end, but in these few minutes, let me explain the difference. Many of the shuyukhs, when we were checking out the Fajr in Trollhättan in our city, one of the youth, he had brought this micro change camera, okay? So he said, the Sheikh, there is a change. I said, but there is no change in the sky. Can you see the change in the sky? He said, no, I can't see. I said, that's the difference. When you see the change in the sky, that's Sayyid Sistani. Because we asked Sayyid Sistani's office in Qom. We asked the astronomical office in Qom as well. They said, no, we have differences in the application. And that's normal. In Eid, we have differences in application. That's normal. We can't say it's right or wrong or no. All marajas are respectful. But the problem is the shuyukhs who are following Sayyid Sistani, some of them, they still insist on that. Because they don't want to tell people who prayed before to pray and do your salat qadha. They are afraid that they will be rammed and hammered. Well, you have to tell them. You should not be afraid. It's better to take their salat, let them inform them they don't want to do qadha, that's fine. So followers of Sayyid Sistani who prayed 1 o'clock before 6 years, and now it changed 1:30. Their salat is, according to Sayyidi Sistani's methodology, invalid because they prayed on midnight in a micro change. Sayyidi Sistani followers, no. Because the astronomers also, they have differences. The experts, they have differences. It's not like every expert says black and white one thing. So that's why Sayyidi Sistani is saying that it's easy for Sayyidi Sistani followers. It's not complicated. On the contrary, maybe you're in a desert, you don't have those micro devices and you don't have timetable. How will you know the exact time of Fajr? Obviously, you can delay the time. But Sayyidi Sistani followers, just look outside. Look outside the window and see. If you see the increase in the light, that's your Fajr time. Finish. No need for telescope, microscope. It's easy to be implemented. People, they think it's complicated. No. A group of delegation, which you trust, they can do this kind of thing for you in your city, every city. As you can see, you will see the wording of Sayyidi Sistani. Every person is responsible for his city, his place of living, and it is his responsibility. Not Imam Ali Center's responsibility, not Al-Qaim Center's responsibility, not organization's responsibility. We will make a timetable and give you, but still you need to double check it with your own eye. Check, open the window, see whether the brightness is increasing. The time of Fajr we have mentioned, check the brightness is increasing or not increasing. Your responsibility. Sayyidi Sistani told me also personally, Antum, you have to verify. I told him there's so many. Imam Ali Center has a timetable. Which should we follow? He said, you verify which one is according to the naked eyesight, the increase in the brightness in the sky. There are some people, they say, oh, the light pollution. Okay, there's so many lights. How can you distinguish? So there one scholar, he sent me the light pollution diagram, the light infrared kind of thing, whatever. I told him the darkness is found in Atlantic Ocean. So should I go to Atlantic Ocean to define my Fajr here? What is this? This is too much. We're getting too extreme. We're becoming worse than Bani Israel. You say this is your place, check out. But there are lights. There's light pollution. No problem. There's a rule which is called istishab, rule of extension. You extend the previous state. Like, for example, when you are doubting the sun has set or not, should I pray Maghrib? Should I break my fast or not? There are clouds. I don't know. I'm in the desert. I don't have time. I don't have a timetable. So he said, wait, don't break your fast. Istashab, extend the day until you're sure that night has fallen and then eat. Opposite, same rule is used opposite. I don't know, Fajr came out or not. These lights are not giving me precise time. Extend the night. It's not obligatory on you to do precaution and abstain from eating until you are sure. Assurity is important. Once you're assured, then only you can pray Fajr. Sayyidi Sistani clearly says, as we are going to read his fatwas, inshallah, after I'm done talking, we are going to read the text of his fatwa. Exactly. Because I like to refer to Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah in everything I do. We are following him. We need to apply his rules. And I'm advising the same thing to his follower. Double check with his rule. Double check with his methodology. But it's a taqleed issue, methodological issue. One person's, like fast. If the moon is sighted by telescope, Sayyidi Sistani followers, they will break their fast. It will be haram. Same thing. If you pray 1 o'clock, your salat is invalid. Follower of Sayyidi Sistani. It's a fiqh issue. And that's the beauty of the ijtihad. And they both use scientific method. Both. The only difference is one is using micro, one is using macro. And we are going to mention how Sayyidi Sistani is mentioning scientific method. I'm going to clearly put it there and explain it the way I was explained by the experts. I doubt because of the lights. Extend your night, no problem. Allah has made religion easy. You don't have to bring equipments to check that, oh, be beyond the lights and Fajr. No, just keep it easy on yourself. Okay, now we check what is going to happen tomorrow in Stockholm. The Fajr is going to end. So let's share some of the images. So basically, this is the website sponsored by Sayyidi Sistani's office, Rafid. they have the salah timing. They give you options because the astronomers, they differ. Astronomers, they have differences. So some of them, they have 16. So for example, you can choose Liva Institute in Qom. They choose 16 degrees, Fajr. University of Tehran, same country, Qom is like 1 hour away, 17.5 degrees. Karachi University, 18 degrees. 18 degrees norm in the school of companion, Ahl Sunnah. Majority of them do it. We have some scholars, they consider like Allama Tabatabai and some of them, they used to consider 18 degree. But majority of the Liva Institute, they follow Liva Institute, this one, which is 16. This is degree. See, whenever I'm putting this, Liva, it's 16. Now see, I'm going to put University of Tehran, see this 17.5. I'm going to put University of Karachi, 18 degree. I'm going to put University of Northern, ISNA, of a Sunni organization in America, 15 degrees. I'm going to put Muslim World League, 18 degrees. Makkah, Al Qura, 19 degrees. They do Eid before everybody. They even do Fajr before everybody. The reason I'm showing you that even experts, they differ. You cannot say I refer to expert. No, refer to the expert in your community, in your country, who knows about your country more and the demographic situation and the astronomy of your country more. So how will I be able to find out Fajr? For example, let's see here, if we type, this was Gothenburg, okay? But let's start from Stockholm, because Stockholm is, this website gives you 18 degree. How? Because this gives you several options. You kept Stockholm, you can choose down all the way, Shia Ithna Ashariya, this one. You choose Shia Ithna Ashariya, you will get what? Degree of Fajr here, 16 degree. See, 16 degree, okay? So this is the Fajr according to the majority of our expert, they say 16 degree. This is Salatul Isha, because some Ahl Sunnah, they also follow 16 degree. But majority of the Shias, they follow 16, few they follow 18. Opposite, majority of the Ahl Sunnah, they follow 18. How? Because of their experiences and observation. God knows best. So that's why many Shias, they put Imsak 18, pray Fajr 16. Because 18 comes before 16. Minus 18 comes before 16. We are going to see. So they do the Imsak on 18 and they do the Fajr on 16, Salatul Fajr. It's a good precaution. So in Stockholm, we are going to choose midnight. So see, what is the time of Dhuhr? 12:45. Okay, and here exactly 30th April, they have seen 12:45 at night. Fajr, this is the column of Fajr, as you know. See, Fajr here, Fajr. So exactly the first column, 12:45 Dhuhr, 12:45 Fajr. This was before 6-7 years, Sayyid al-Khamenei. Then you add half an hour. But as I said, it's better that from 27, 28, black thread disappears. So starting from 27, once it goes below 145, you start praying 145. Follower of Sayyidi Sistani, I'm saying, follower of Sayyidi Sistani. You start praying 145, okay? 145, and then you can abstain the 12:45 or whatever time the Imam Ali Center is given. You can do Imsak, but pray after 145. Okay, so this is now I have seen some of the timetables in Stockholm. They're extreme. The 3 o'clock Fajr, 3:30. Wow, that's too much. That's too extreme. So therefore, this is something you can find out. Let's say Gothenburg. When will be the last day of Trollhättan? Our Trollhättan last day of Fajr is going to be in our city when we will not have 16 degrees. Let's choose Shiath Nashari. You have to every time choose Shiath Nashari. Shiath Nashari Ja'fari. And then you have to choose the angle also, midnight, because we don't go angle after the Fajr, because our Maraja, they did not define angle. And our Fajr in Trollhättan, the midnight is going to start, see the Dhuhr time, 108, 108. So 3rd May, basically, in Trollhättan, in our city, we will not have Fajr. But inshallah, next year, we will have only 2 days, we will have this problem. But then we'll have our normal lives back together. Hopefully, we'll have normal lives also without coronavirus. So 108, 108. See, unfortunately, many of Sayyid Sistani followers, they prayed on this time. But Sayyid al-Sistani followers, they prayed on micro change, where Sayyid Sistani says you pray on macro change. Okay? So that is a serious problem where many of our shuyukhs, may Allah have blessing, they're neglecting. They're neglecting. They don't want, why? Because the people will slam them, hammer them, attack them. So they don't want to put themselves in that position. There's no, it's okay, it's okay. But Sayyid Sistani never appointed this time, neither the experts of the followers of Sayyid Sistani in astronomical, they defined it the time. It's a methodological friend. It's respect to both Maraja, may Allah bless them. But it's some of the followers of the Maraja, so I don't know why they are like not being truthful with the communities. Okay, then we have, let's say, Göteborg, Gothenburg. And again, just check this website, muslimpro.com. Okay, you can check your city. Put any city in Sweden or in Norway, it will come. So now we will choose, again, remember, choose Shia Ithna Ashari. Okay, Gothenburg, and then choose 16 degrees, and then choose two things you have to choose, Shia Ithna Ashari, and don't choose angle base, choose midnight, because we add hour in Göteborg, about hour. Okay, so here we have okay in April, in May, which May? We said about 4 or 5th May. Let's see, 4 or 5th May. Yes, we started already. See, what time is Dhuhr? 109. 5th May, 109. So what does that mean? That means starting from 2nd May, don't pray before 2 o'clock. Don't pray, because the whiteness in the sky becomes very sluggish. It is not distinguishable, the white and the white light and the dark light. If you can distinguish, pray on 2. If you cannot, wait until you see that it is distinguishable. And here also, say the Sistani followers, they used to pray on the micro time also, and that is where I say Salat was invalid. Say the Sistani's followers, they are going to pray 2:39. 2:39. So 2:09, they are going to abstain. Like this date, for example, 2:09, they're going to stop for eating. 2:39, they are going to pray. Leave half an hour gap. It's good. Okay, now we come to Malmo. The reason I'm showing you these differences in Malmo, let's see Malmo. Malmo, again, Shia Ithna Ashari. And we choose midnight, is micro. Because say the Sistani's methodology is not here in this timetable. Because we have to check it out with our eyes. Okay, April, good, sweet. Let's check May for Malmo. And yes, on 12th May, about 13th May, Malmo will have a problem, and which is 2-3 days before Eid, because Eid is going to be 14th May. So they have this struggle only 2-3 days. Again, when it comes before 2 o'clock, Malmo people add after 1.5 hours. Okay, double check in your sky when you see the differences after this time. 2-3 days you'll check, you'll know the pattern, and you can based on that the entire, but you have only 2-3 days Malmo, so lucky you guys. So anyhow, I'm not giving you time, I'm teaching you how to check for Sayyid Sistani followers. Check in the sky, check the time, so you know that after Sayyid al-Khamenei's time, this much time needs to be added for Sayyid Sistani. So basically, Imam Ali sent us timetable, can be used, however, for Fajr, it is a bit addition. Now, let me just quickly explain this diagram so that you can understand what happens. Normally, the sun rises, comes to 90 degrees on the top, then the sun comes down, So it comes 0. That goes minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 12, minus 16, minus 18, minus until it becomes 90. This is Sayyid al-Khamenei's time, micro in the abnormal days. But normal days, some said minus 18. When the sun is here, you will see the white thread, whitish of the day from the darkness of the night distinguished, like these two bands. Some say minus 16. In Europe, we normally take minus 16. In Middle East and Africa, normally they take minus 18. Majority of the Shia, they follow minus 16. Majority of the Sunnis, they follow minus 18. So this is how the experts, they have checked. Most of the Shias, what they do, they will stop their eating here and they will pray Salat al-Fajr here on minus 18. So this is how, this is normal. In summer, the summer sun does not go below, like below 12, below. So in summer, the sun is below minus 16. So now what will happen? For Sayyidi Sistani followers, because it moves very slowly and suddenly it starts to have a big shift. Once it starts to have a big shift, you see whiteness increasing in the sky. And that is Sayyidi Sistani's time, Damadullah. Okay? So because we don't have minus 16, we don't have minus 16, we don't have, the sun is barely in Trollhättan, in our city, it barely goes minus 11, minus 10 these days. So we have this kind of condition that the brightness starts to increase in the sky. So based on Sayyidi Sistani, he is referring to the testimonies and evidences which are mentioned according to his ijtihad. There needs to be macro change. Now, let me show you another diagram and we'll be done. Remember, I said that we can't have same Fajr in same half an hour. Fixing one time for Sayyidi Sistani followers, like 12 hours after Dhuhr and add 30 minutes, that is not supported by science for Sayyidi Sistani followers, not supported. Why? Look at, this is sunset, and this is the brightness which starts. The distance in Malmo between sunset and midnight is greater, and between the midnight and the brightness in the sky is greater. In Göteborg, it's lesser. In Stockholm, it's lesser. Until you come to Kiruna, it may be 5 minutes. After the micro Fajr, the macro Fajr can be sensed 5 minutes. So it's not half an hour. That's why the experts, they told me to fix after noon time, after midnight, half an hour. That is not scientifically accurate. And that is what Sayyidi Sistani is saying. He's not fixing half an hour time because it's scientifically, for followers of Sayyidi Sistani, it's not accurate because the macro change does not happen after micro. In all the places from north of Sweden, Kiruna, to south of Sweden, Malmo, it does not happen exactly same time, half an hour. Malmo people, they take more time to see the brightness after midnight. Göteborg, and again, it changes from season to season. So in summer, it might be different, and midsummer, it might be different. It might increase and decrease once you come close to the midsummer. So this keeping half an hour for Sayyidi Sistani followers after midday, it is not right for every region. Yes, it could be right for Stockholm, as we saw, perhaps, or northern Stockholm, but not for Trollhättan. We saw Trollhättan, we cannot see. We can see micro, we cannot see macro, we cannot see big change. Göteborg also, so more south. Malmo, definitely. So there is no half an hour fixation after midnight, according to Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah. Neither he gave a fatwa, neither his organization, astronomical observatories, gave fatwa, or experts, neither Swedish and Norwegian experts gave us this. For each region, there has to be their own macro change after midnight. So there is a difference between the changes which happen, and that is why Sayyidi Sistani, when he says, look with your eye, why? Because the macro change is not equal from North Sweden to South Sweden, the way it is mentioned in Imam Ali Center's Fajr. That is not applicable for Sayyid al-Sistani followers, they have to add according to their region and check micro. I've done application of fatwas of Ayatollah al-Uzma Sayyid Ali Sistani. I've taken words from experts. Even I took from University of Stockholm, the professor gave me the timetable of NASA, the movement of the sun by seconds. It's like about 30 pages for each city, 30, 40 pages. So I have tried my best to check with experts of the office of Sayyidi Sistani, fatwa of Sayyidi Sistani Damadallahuma, and the applications are different and the methodologies are different. So therefore, for the followers of Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah, in the Fajr time, they need to do great deal of precaution, regional precaution, and follow the timetable of Imam Ali Centered Fajr with adding regional precautionary measures. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah accepts all the fasts of the beloved ones, and may Allah bless all our maraja, respect them, and we respect everybody. However, followers of Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah, they need to apply the rules of their marja, okay, and apply it according to what I have explained scientifically and with all these. And again, I'm going to next session. I'm going to read the fatwa. And this pollution of the light, people, they bring the issue of pollution of the light is like barrier like clouds. So because of the cloud, you can extend the iftar time. Because of the pollution of the light, you can extend the night time and pray Fajr whenever you see macro change, real change in the brightness of the sky. We are going to go through the fatwa of Sayyidi Sistani, which I've used in my research in defining the Fajr. So this says that this is from the website of Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah, and this has been applied on whatever I've mentioned according to the words of experts and astronomers and from the office of Ayatollah Sistani Damadullah. The two methodologies are different, micro and macro, we mentioned. He says we are in Sweden, holy month of Ramadan comes, and then we have the summer, we have very short night. You can double check. I'm going to read the answer of Sayyidi Sistani. So the question is talking about our there is a very less time for Fajr. And there's too much precautionary time kept in some of the Islamic centers, like Imam Ali Center's timetable. The precautionary time is great between praying the Salat. And so they're asking that, do we have to abstain as a precautionary measures? يكون وقت الإمساك فيها قبل الفجر بوقت كثير احتياطا وهذا محرج, and it becomes very difficult. Anyhow, the answer is إن وقت الإمساك شرعا, the time of abstaining fast religiously, وهو طلوع الفجر, it is the time of Fajr, not before time of Fajr, the time of Fajr. Look at this word. This is very important words. وَتَحَرِّي طُلُوعَهُ, and trying to find out the Fajr has risen or not. في مكان ما, في مكان, in a place. في مكان سكن المكلف من وظيفتي. In a place where you live, it is your responsibility. Not to go into Atlantic Ocean and find out where there is no light pollution. No. Where do you live? There's light pollution, light barrier, lighting is barrier preventing. Okay, then extend your night until you are sure that you have seen the brightness increase. Because some claim that because of the light pollution and the brightness of the lights, we can't sense the change. The Fajr might have been come out before. So this does not help me. For me to offer Salat al-Fajr, I need to have ihraz. I need to have assurance that no, Fajr came out. The brightness comes out, that's assurance. You are seeing with your eyes, certainty you have, not even a probability. Certainly the Fajr is out. If you're probable, you cannot pray. فَقَدْ أَحْرَزَ وَقْتًا مُحَدَّدًا فَإِذَا أَحْرَزَ وَقْتًا مُحَدَّدًا. So if a person, by looking in his region, in his place, to the sky, when he sees the Fajr has risen, he knows this time, لَمْ يَجِبِ الْإِمْسَاكَ عَلَيْهِ قَبْلَهُ. Before this time, it is not wajib to hold your fast before it as a measure of precaution. وَإِنْ احْتَمَلَ, even if he has a probably, no, Fajr might have been before my eyes have seen, that's fine. Your eyes, what your eyes sees, that is very important. What your eyes have not seen, that is not obligatory to say this Sistani Damadullah. In ihtiyat is not obligatory. Again, another question on Sweden. Sweden says like Sweden has a serious problem. So this, again, in summer we have problem, Fajr and Maghrib and all those kind of things. For Maghrib, just refer to Sayyid Muhammad Sa'id al-Hakim, and just after the sunset of the Swedish system, 5 minutes, just break your fast. You don't need to wait 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever minutes. You can see the redness from the sky disappears, just break your fast. Forget about the lights and all those kind of things. So what should we do? He says here, I'm just going to read the portion of Fajr. فَابْتِدَاءُ الْفَجْرِ, start of the Fajr, في هذه البلدان, in these countries, in summer. The question was in summer. When there is no 16 degrees, when there is no white band and dark band, bright band and dark band. في حين ابتداء ازدياد النور, from the first beginning of the start of the light rising in the sky, which comes in the horizon. Okay, light that encounters the horizon. واعتراضي في الأفق بشكل محسوس, keyword, in a way that it can be sensed. إحساس, 5 senses, not electronic devices. Mahsus is from the senses. Is he personally say this is time to be look with your eyes, because I asked him so many timetables, what should you do? He said verify the timetables by looking with your eyes, the Fajr time. فَيُمْسِكُ الصَّوْمَ قَبْلَ ذَلِكَ. So once you see that brightness has started, you abstain from fasting before that brightness starts. وَيُصَلِّ الصُّبْحَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ, and offers the prayer after the brightness has started, before sunrise, obviously. And then that is about night prayers, Salat al-Isha, yuftar ba'da ghayab qurush. So if there is a light remaining, sunlight is remaining, eastern redness is still remaining, he says just break your fast if it does not end. Because the more you go north, the redness is there. But if it disappears, then you have to break your fast after the disappearance. And then in this case, if it takes longer time to disappear, you can refer to Sayyid Muhammad Sa'id al-Hakim al-Tabatabai or any marja who allows you to break your fast earlier on the sunset. So this is another, third one. Again, Sweden. So he says, holy month of Ramadan, summer being short, the time of Salat, and some of the Islamic centers, they have mentioned sometimes, and it is so early time, that means we can't see the change in the sky, and the time has been mentioned to do imsak. Again, same thing, he does not change. Methodology, waqtul imsaki shar'an. For sure, the time of abstaining from eating and drinking religiously, according to religious law, is طلوع الفجر, rise of the dawn. وتحري وقت طلوعه, and to find out when has it risen. في مكان سكن المكلف, in the region of the person who lives in it. من وظيفته, it's his responsibility. And you can't go Atlantic Ocean to find out. It's your responsibility to find out in your region, because you're fasting here. You need to find out time of Fajr in your region, not region away from you 1.5 hours, or in a desert which is 3 hours away from you. That time is different than your time of Fajr. فَإِذَا أَحْرَزَ وَقْتًا, so when he realizes and finds out and confirms a specific time by observation, لَمْ يَجِبِ الْإِمْسَاكُ عَلَيْهِ قَبْلَهُ, it is not wajib to abstain before that time. وَإِنْ احْتَمَلَ طُلُوعَهُ قَبْلَهُ, even if he has a probability the Fajr might have gone, it's fine. You are not sure. So all these summer situations are all doubtful situations, between this center's timetable, that center's timetable, that center. So I'm giving you that directly, the scientific method and the practical method. So practical method is to see the sun, the rise of the dawn with your eyes. You are responsible. Yes, Al-Qaim Center gives you timetable. Imam Ali Center gives you timetable. But you have to double check Fajr time, especially in summer. Just check out, look, whether there is brightness increasing or not. If not, don't follow the time of Fajr mentioned in any timetable. Imam Ali Center, other center, because some of the centers in Stockholm, they have extremely late time. Late. That means the Fajr is there and people are eating and drinking. And that is not doubtful time. That is yaqinan. That is for sure the Fajr is out. So Imam Ali Center's timetable is based on precautionary measure for abstaining time, but for Salat time, for the followers of Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah, delay. Okay? And we mentioned the delay. Each region has certain time to delay, not stick to half an hour. It could be less if you go north. It could be more if you go south to Malmö and Kristianstad. Again, this question also, they say that question, this is all from the website of Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah. Mushkilat al-Fajr, and again we see a lot of papers, a lot of from the masajid, the mosques, and Imam Hussainiyat and Imam Barga, they all give us, and they have a lot of variances in the time. So what should we do? Okay, so he says, because we don't have the real Fajr, is not there, obviously metaphorical Fajr, which is going to start in coming weeks, Stockholm from tomorrow, day after tomorrow it is. So he says, بعد تحقق الليل, after you know that it's night, that means the darkness has reached its highest level. Then the darkness starts to fade. يتحقق الفجر بالشروع ببداية ضوء الشمس بالازدياد. So the brightness of the sun starts to come out more and more. So the moment the brightness starts, that's your time of Salat al-Fajr. And he says, ولا يجب الاحتياط في هذا الوقت. You don't have to abstain in the obligatory precaution. No, it's not obligatory to observe precaution in the time before, because it's doubtful time. We said extension, rule of extension, extending the night. حتى في مورد الشك, even in that case of doubt, في تحقق ذلك وعدمه. You don't know, it happened or not. Like in most of the cases of the Mu'mineen communities, they're always in doubt. Okay, this sentence, this Maulana said, I'm telling you, but I'm telling you, double check what I'm telling you, double check what I give you. The way Sayyidi Sistani told me, look with your eyes, any timetable, confirm it with your eyes. I'm telling you, if I'm going to give you timetable, double check, couple of days, come out, check whether really the rise of the whiteness is starting or not. And it can differ from person to person. Somebody's eye is not as sharp as somebody else's eye. However, so it is not a specific Fajr for everybody. Everybody can have differences of the sighting. It's what you sight and what you're confirmed of that you have to tally with the timetable. But to be on the safe side, we have checked Salat al-Fajr you can easily offer after 2:25 when the because the Fajr we were looking from 2 o'clock, 2:05 it started, something changed, and we are looking and suddenly 2:10 change happened. When did this happen? Because our eyes they cannot detect exactly like those equipments. But when you are in desert, you don't have equipments. So say Islam is easy applicable for everybody. Just look in the sky. Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam told his maid, can you check the Fajr is out or not? Maid goes and sees in the sky, naked eye in the city, yes, the Fajr is out. And Imam Sadiq alayhi salam offers prayer. That means by any means, if you are sure that the brightness has started, or you have seen the white band and the dark band, then you pray the Fajr. So he says that وَإِنْ كَانَ يُحْسَنُ الْإِحْتِيَاطِ فِي مَوْرِدِ الشَّكِّ, even if it's better, not obligatory, to do precaution in the time where there is doubt. And the experts in Stockholm University, these universities, they say if you're going to observe, specifying half an hour from the whole region, from Sweden to South, Kristianstad, is not a scientific method at all. So that means Sayyidi Sistani is not sticking to this half an hour for macro observation because it is not a scientific method. For Sayyidi Sistani, Damadullah follows, it matters because you cannot fix half an hour for the whole Sweden from top till bottom. No, you cannot. It is not scientific. It is not supported by scientists. It is just a kind of fixing the time of some region and trying to apply it from North Kiruna to south of Malmö and Kristianstad. So that's why he did not make a comment on Imam Ali Center's timetable. He just gave a general rule. That means apply this rule. إن وقت الإمساك شرعا هو طلوع الفجر. The religiously, according to the religious law, the time of abstaining is the time of Fajr. So you don't have to abstain before Fajr, because the question is we have to midnight, we have to stop, and after that half an hour we pray Fajr, so there's too much time, and then if, for say this is follower, they wait after it more than that, means 1 hour between Imsak and Fajr. So that's not necessary. It has never been like that. Imsak, you abstain 1 hour before the Fajr. So that is too much according to the fatwa of Sayyidi Sisi. So Sayyidi Sisi says, no, the moment you know that this is Fajr, that's the moment you need to stop eating and drinking. Before that moment. That means 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes, okay? Not half an hour, not 1 hour. Because all that hour, the time which is doubtful, it is not obligatory upon you to abstain. وَتَحَرِّ وَقْتُ طُلُوعِهِ, and to find out the time of the rise of the Fajr is response في مكان سكن المكلف. In this is the responsibility of the place, responsibility of the person who lives in that place, the place where you live. في مكان سكن المكلف, in the place of the person where the person responsible person lives, it is his responsibility. That means every individual. Now you can make a group of delegation from trustworthy, they can check every night and do it, but with the naked eye. Here, what he says that وقت الإمساك يكون في تمام الواحدة بعد منتصف الليل. Sayyidi Sistani followers, they need to see macro change, big change in the brightness. The brightness starts, that's where. So you have to apply. According to when I was in Stockholm, I checked, it is after like half an hour from the time mentioned in the Imam Ali centers. That means after the midday, 13 hours. You add 13 hours, not 12 and a half hours. 13 hours, you start seeing the change before it. So before 1:45 till 2 o'clock, if you are in Stockholm, you can pray according to my observation of rising of the brightness in the sky. If somebody has observed something else, that's up to them. Everybody is responsible. I have seen, you check out, you might see the brightness starting before. My eyes are weak, maybe. You might see their brightness. Every single individual is responsible for their observation. If you see earlier, you stop earlier, but you cannot generalize it to the people what you have observed. Your observation is for you. You can share it and let them double check it. However, the more you delay, it is on the precautionary measures. So these are the fatwas of Ayatollah al-Udma Sayyid Ali Sistani. These are Imam Ali Center's timetable. This is what's going to happen in I think this is Gothenburg, Göteborg. So in Göteborg, see, this is Dhuhr time, 13:09. Midnight is 13:09. Add 30 minutes, 1:39. That is for Sayyid al-Khamenei followers. Sayyid al-Sistani followers, add 1 hour plus. So 1:45, you are going to pray Fajr there. But double check, please double check. Maybe it's earlier, maybe it's before. Okay, so this is from 4th, you have to be careful if you are living in Gothenburg. And here also, just pray 2 o'clock plus. Okay, because here also the brightness is not that obvious. It's kind of sluggish. Later on, you see the brightness rising. And then this is Kiruna. Kiruna, huma adraka ma Kiruna. Bless them. They already started their misery of Imsak in 4th April. They have lost their 16 degrees. So see, what is the time of Dhuhr? 12:42. 12:40 to midnight. Add half an hour, 30 minutes. So this is all based on Sayyid al-Khamenei's methodology. This is Malmo. Malmo, lucky for them. Only 2 days they have this year. And next year they don't have. Next year we, inshallah, will have only 2 days, okay, of these problematic things. And then we have Stockholm. Stockholm, 28. That means day after tomorrow. But as I said, just make your rule. Pray after 1:45. So there are times you have to pray 1:56. You see, See, Dhuhr, 12:44. That means uh, Fajr should be 14 because you add 30 minutes, 1:14. So for followers of Sayyidi Sistani, they will see the rise after 1:45. So they pray 1:45. So just make a rule of thumb. You see this where this 1:45? Just make rule of thumb 1:45 and check. Don't take my words because I checked. You also check. Come out and check. May Allah bless Sama'at Sheikh Hakim al-Ilahi of Imam Ali Center. I'm going to mention that he also does precaution. So basically, he himself, he told me today also, I spoke with him. He said that we do not pray on that time. As a precautionary measure, we also delay. So he advises everybody to delay Salat al-Fajr from that time at least half an hour. So same thing, like 1:45 plus, you will see the rise. But if you see the rise before, you can pray before. If you see the rise in the whiteness, brightness 1:30, pray 1:30. Okay, do your own taklif, your own responsibility. But Sama'ati said, Sheikh Hakim, may Allah bless him and give him strength and more success in his missions. And inshallah, may Allah build that masjid, which is on hold in Stockholm. So maybe the Mu'mineen can participate in this holy month to help building that masjid. So, alhamdulillah, we are in line that we pray late. Okay, so for Sayyidi Sistani followers, I'm just telling you this, that stop on the time of Imam Ali Center's Fajr, maybe before like five few minutes. As you said, Sayyidi Sistani is on doubtful time. It's not obligatory, but it's better. And then pray half an hour after the time of Imam Ali Center. Hopefully this is clear. And inshallah, we pray that may Allah accept all the deeds of all our mu'mini mu'minat and those people who have to redo some Salat Fajr from the past. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also bless them and give them inspiration. It's the shuyukhs, when I confront some of the shuyukhs, they are afraid to tell them because, they will be slammed. Why did you guys make us follow this and that? It's fine. Marja, if gives fatwa problematic, it changes and he doesn't care about the people. So we have some shuyukhs, they care about, oh my goodness, what will they say? I said, you are afraid of people or afraid of Allah, to my beloved shuyukhs? Okay? No, it's just Sayyidi Sistani's methodology is different. I've taken responsibility because I checked with my own eyes in Trollhättan in certain time in Stockholm at Trollhättan. I've checked extensively. And it is not 12 plus 30 minutes after Dhuhr. No, it is more. And the more you go north, the more the time narrows down. That's science. Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah is basing his thoughts on opinion on science. Hopefully this was beneficial, and hopefully, inshallah, if you're in Stockholm, be prepared tomorrow to do some extra precautionary measures. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.